Hey everybody, welcome to Stamping with Melva. I'm Melva Peters and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in British Columbia, Canada. And you can find me online at stampingwithmelva.com. It's Tuesday tonight and I've been away for about a week. I was in Calgary visiting family. I had a couple of kit classes while I was there. So much fun to meet new people. And if you were part of those kit classes, thank you so much for joining me. I think it was fun. I had fun, so hopefully those people that joined me did as well. I love kits, so if you haven't checked out the kit collection, it's pretty amazing. I had lots of brand new crafters with me during those classes, and the kits are perfect for that. So if you've never checked them out, every month Stampin' Up! Brings 2 to 3 new kits out, which is so fun to play. You don't have to think, you can just follow along and make them. All right, so tonight we're going to do a sketch. Every Tuesday night at 6:30 I jump on and share a sketch with you. And so tonight I'm using the Autumn, got to think about it, Amber Autumn. It's part of the Autumn Tool suite that is in the September to December mini catalog. This is one of the 2 bundles that's part of it, as well as a piece of the designer series paper and some of the embellishments. So it's a really pretty suite. All right, let me switch over. Feels like I've been away a long time, having to think about things. All right, so if you're joining me, make sure you let me know where you're watching from. Say hi. Love to chat while I've got people on. Okay, there we go. So there's the sketch, and if you are part of my newsletter, you saw this a little bit earlier today. If you haven't signed up to my newsletter, go to stampingwithmelva.com and the pop-up box will come up. So it looks pretty simple, but I had fun playing with this. So the card base is 4 1/4 by 11, or 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, and then this first layer is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The black, which is actually a circle, is 2 3/8. It's a 2 3/8 inch circle punch. And then this gray is, I said any shape. I'm actually using one of the shapes, the stamped images, and cut it out. So any shape that you want to put on top of that circle. And then a sentiment piece. I said 1/2 inch by about 3 inches. Not sure if that's what mine is. But whatever fits your sentiment. So it's a pretty easy, hey Melinda, welcome. Pretty easy sketch, but there's lots of fun things that you can do with it. So this is the Amber Autumn bundle. I love this bundle. Look at these lovely images. This one is, they're both actually, the images are great for coloring. I'm not doing anything with it. I'm stamping the image and leaving it alone. So I'm actually using the one with the acorn and the oak leaves, and then lovely sentiments that you have choices of for this one. This is great for fall. Look at this amazing die. It's a 1-piece die that cuts out this beautiful background with leaves. We're not using that tonight, but I wanted to show you. We're using this die, which will cut out the acorns. There is also the die that cuts out, if I can figure out which way it goes, there we go, cuts out the pumpkins, and then there's 2 standalone dies that you have. So we'll put those back on there for the moment. Okay, so that sketch, don't think I said this, the sketch will go live on Instagram and Facebook in about a half hour's time. So if you missed any of those measurements, you can pop over there and check them out. All right, so I've got a piece of early espresso cardstock, and I've cut it 4 1/4 by 11. I seem to be a fan of the tent fold card with the piece being 4 1/4 by 11. I've noticed this in the past. It seems to be my go-to as opposed to the 5 1/2 by 8 1/2. I'm not sure why. I know some people don't like this fold. They say it doesn't stand up. I don't have that issue, and I really like it. So I've scored it at 5 1/2. And we will just fold into the mountain or the raised line and burnish it with our bone folder. Now I've got a piece of, this is a piece of the designer series paper. Look at this side. It's so pretty with the little foxes. Can you see those little foxes in Cajun craze? I'm using these stripes. So that's going to go on like that. And then I've punched out, which is fallen on the floor, punched out a piece of early espresso So that's using the 2 3/8 inch circle punch. Now, I don't usually do this. I'm going to stamp, and the inside of my card is actually, I've got two pieces of gray granite, which I don't usually use. As I think I said on a live a week or so ago, I'm using more basic beige as a neutral on the inside of my cards and to stamp on. But this one, the gray granite is in the stripes, so I decided to go with gray granite for the inside of the card. And I'm going to use gray granite to stamp my image on. And like I said, I'm using the acorn image. And I'm just going to take, and I'm going to stamp it in early espresso. So that's all I'm doing. I'm not coloring it at all. I just decided I was going to just stamp it and let it just be plain. Talk about an easy card. All right, and now I've got the sentiment that says grateful for you. Now, I always stamp on my grid paper just to see. It's actually pretty straight, so let's see if I can actually stamp it straight. Oh, not too bad. You never know. All right, and then let's stamp something on the inside of the card. I'm going to stamp these. I'm just going to stamp the kind of the corner and just get just a little bit of the leaves down in the bottom corner. Okay, so now I need the die. So you could fancy this up by adding some ribbon. You could add another layer behind the designer series paper, all sorts of ways. If you wanted to step this up in any way, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. Just adding some pieces of post-it note tape just to hold my die on so it doesn't slip. And there we go. So we will put that on, make sure. Just run this through the Stampin' Cut and Emboss. So lots going on with Stampin' Up. Today was the first day that you could start to order the 12 Days of Crafting Advent Calendar. So I don't know how many of you ordered that. I know I did, and some of my customers have ordered it. I'm so excited. I have participating with a group that are doing a tutorial, and I think there's about 14 projects that will be in this tutorial that you can make using the products from the crafting advent calendar. So what it is 12 days of product. So like an advent calendar where you open it up and get treats or chocolate, you can open up 12 different windows in this advent calendar or crafting calendar, and in each one of those there will be something that coordinates together some kind of product that you can use for crafting. So there is a double stamp set that is not in one of the windows that you get with the kit as well, and then 12 windows. And so I know, for example, there's some beautiful designer series paper in one of those windows. So I can't wait for it to arrive. So I'm going to be participating in this with these other demonstrators, and we're going to be making some projects that you can make in the tutorial. So if you purchase the tutorial from me, you will get one of these. Hey Pam, one of these tutorials. I'm also going to have a class, so if you sign up with me, there will be a class. I said it was going to be in December. It might move out to January so that you can actually open up your advent calendar first before you participate in the class, but we'll make 4 cards in that class. Oh, yay, Pam. Yes, I bought the calendar too. All right, so I adhered this circle on with dimensionals, and now I'm just going to take and put a little bit of glue on the back of my, oopsie, let's put it that way, on my stamped image. And then, oopsie, I'm going to take and cut that end off. I stamped it in the middle, and then I'm going to cut up from the middle. I'm going to cut a banner or a fishtail end. So I always cut up from the middle and then cut on either side to make that banner end, and we'll adhere that across. So I'm going to put 1 dimensional on that fishtail end, and just a little bit of glue on the other end because it's going to go over top like that. Just like that. How easy is that? Well, let's put the inside of the card. Yeah, I'm excited for this calendar. I, have been waiting for Stampin' Up! To come out with one of these advent calendars, and so it's so fun that they did, and I can't wait for the box to arrive because I think it's going to be so much fun. So if you're interested in that, you can order it through my online store. All right, so there is my card, but we of course need some embellishments. So the embellishments that are part of this suite, I have used so many of them. They are called, they are here on a, they are called streaked dots, and they're almost wood grained. It's a bit hard to see. 2 different sizes, and so we're just going to use a couple of those. I'm almost out of the big ones. Like that. Just kept it really simple, but I don't know, it's kind of, maybe it's a bit of a clean and simple card. I don't know if it would classify as clean and simple, but it feels just very, I don't know, elegant to me, just with that, just the stamped images and no coloring, and talk about easy. And what a great card for Thanksgiving, which is coming up soon in Canada. I think it's in about 2 weeks time or so, maybe 3 weeks time. So there we go. That's your sketch card. I'll bring the sketch back in for tonight. So again, I kept it pretty simple. If you're following this sketch, this layer, which is the gray, what I've got a circle, it can be any shape, and so that was my stamped image shape. All right. Are we? There we go. Have to figure out technology after being away. I had so much fun in Calgary visiting family. Never mind the card classes, but it was my oldest sister's birthday, so we spent a fair amount of the time celebrating her birthday, and we did some shopping, and we actually went to a very funny play called Made in Italy. So if you ever see that, it's a Canadian playwright, local. He was from Alberta, and oh my gosh, it was so funny. So if you ever see that in your area, you definitely want to go and see it, because it definitely was, it was so worth going. We laughed the whole afternoon. All right, everybody, thanks so much for joining me. Now, tomorrow I'll be alive with a technique for you. I'm going to be a little early tomorrow. It'll probably be about 2 o'clock or 2:30, somewhere there, so stay tuned for that. I'm going out to do some dot painting. I'm going there at the beginning of October. I'm not sure where there is, Pam. Are you going to Italy, Pam? That would be so much fun if you were. All right. Yeah, so I'll be live tomorrow, probably about 2 or 2:30 with a technique for you. So come join me then.